Okay, so this question received on WhatsApp for someone. I said, Mr. Ikenna, good evening, sir. Please, I want to buy Peugeot 308 2010 automatic model. I sincerely need your advice. Is it a good car? Okay, yes, yeah, Peugeot 308, which also, since it's 2010 model you are interested in, is also known as T7. So, the Peugeot 308 T7 is a good car, and you know, so about to explain the weaknesses and positives. I'm going to list out, show you some of the engines that are more easily available, and depending on the transmission. Not all the engines comes with automatic transmission. So since you are saying automatic, so I'll list out some of them that come, like one that comes with manual. I will include it, but then I will not talk much on that. Okay, so now this EW10A is a 2.0 liter engine. EW10A how it uses timing belt. It's more common in Peugeot 407. Then you also find it in Peugeot 307 T6 phase 2. It's about 140 horsepower or thereabouts. Okay, it comes with both automatic and the manual transmission. The automatic transmission has a 4-speed. The model is AL4. However, for this particular T7 308 with this engine, they are not common. You hardly find them. Very hard to find. So now this is the most common engine in Peugeot 308 T7. The model you are interested in, the production year you are interested in. This is a 1.6 liter, known as VTI 120. It's a petrol engine. This one uses timing chain, not belt. Okay, that's about it. But like I said, this is the most common one among them. You find it 308. Then this is also TU5JP4. This is also a 1.6 liter petrol engine, but uses timing belt, just like the 2.01 W10A uses timing belt. So it's just that this one is not. I think it comes only in manual. I don't think it has automatic option, or I've never come across one. I heard of anyone that has the automatic version. So I think it comes only in manual. So let's not dwell more on this one. Now this is a turbocharged engine, petrol engine, THP 156. In fact, they have up to how many THP? Like 5 or thereabouts. 140, one with 140 horsepower, one with 150 horsepower, one with 156 horsepower, and one with 175. But the one with 175 horsepower comes only in manual, while the other ones have automatic and the manual options. But the most common turbocharged or THP engine in TS7 is the 156. This particular one in the picture, so I will dwell more on this one. There are other engines, petrol engine like 1.4, but just forget that one. That one I don't really recommend it. Parts availability not that easily to find in Nigeria and the rest. So I would rather focus on the one that I can easily repair and that won't cost you much than or the one you have to rely on importing parts. So let's just focus on, in other words, you are looking at only 3 engines since you want automatic. 1, not this one, 2, 3. Okay, now let's talk about this. Now, of all the petrol engines in T7 that you want, this one consumes the most fuel. The fuel consumption is higher than the other 2 with automatic transmission. But doesn't mean it consumes that high, but the other 2 consume lesser. So Now, in terms of cost of maintenance, this one is the cheapest of the other two. This is the cheapest to maintain than the other two. But the only thing, like I said earlier, is it's not easily available. As in, it's not that common. Finding a 308 with this engine is hard. Is it possible to find? Yes, but not that easily available. Most times, if you want this kind of thing, you have to search for it outside Nigeria and import. So it's the cheapest and not much issue known. One of the weaknesses is the throttle body, motorized throttle body. They wear out much faster than other engines. They are available, used, and new ones. And there are other ways. In fact, there's a way you can use another motorized throttle body that is much cheaper, and it will work well. Anyway, that's not why we are there, but this is one of the. Then another weakness, and I won't call it weakness, just that most people don't understand that they call it a weakness, but it's not necessarily a weakness, just that could be ignorance. This engine doesn't tolerate vacuum leak, so once there's any leak somewhere on the cylinder head cover, the plastic one, on the intake side that connects to intake manifold. That's the intake camshaft, the one that covers the plastic cover that covers intake camshaft, and the hose from that intake camshaft that goes to intake manifold. If there's any leak anywhere, to throw the car into leap mode. What else? It has two catalytic converters, so it means you have two things to be dealing with, but they can last anyway. But the one that usually fail most is the one on the exhaust manifold. There's a small catalyst there, and so if that one fails, not easily accessible, but it can be removed anyway. So what else? Then it has recommended engine oil is 5W40, not just only 5W40. It's like one of the recommended ones is total was 9,000 5W40. Or you look for any oil with B712296. That's the Peugeot certification code. So B712296. It mustn't be total, but once that oil have, you are sure it's a genuine code, not that somebody put it there as fake. That means it can work on that engine. Most likely going to be 5W40. Okay, so moving on. This is in terms of fuel consumption. This one consumed the least of all the three that we are talking about on this video. Consume the least. It has some transmission in the 2.0, that's AL4. That's for automatic transmission. The engine is recommended oil is it has one coat or two coats, forgotten, but the one I remember offered is B712297. B712297 is also a 5W30 oil weight, like a Total Quartz INEO HTC 5W30. There are also Mobil oil that has that certification code. As long as you see that B712297 behind the container on the sticker, then it's recommended for this engine. So few weaknesses. For example, the electro valve solenoid attached on both camshaft and intake camshaft and exhaust camshaft, they do wear out. Not more often like that, but it's one of the wearable parts on this engine. They're not too expensive. They're available, new one, used ones. So I think I bought ones not long ago, about 20 something thousand or so, or 30, forgotten. the the timing chain, um or the tensioner do that, unless most likely they've been changed by the previous user. The first time they produced them, they had issues, so most of them were recalled, or if I'm not mistaken, and replaced with the improved timing tensioner. So the ones that haven't been done probably may lose timing after a while. So if you remove the tensioner, put a good one, reset the timing. Sometimes you may not need to change the timing chain, only just reset it, it comes back and start working well again. um the camshafts themselves, there's a place they running around the cylinder head that sometimes I don't know if it's oil quality that do affect them. It can make them wear out. So it's not that really a big thing. Most people I know that use the engine, they don't have that issue. Once you, like I said, once you use recommended oil, won't have any much problem with this engine. One of the issues I do know, or weaknesses of this engine, is the valve stem cell. They don't like being packed for a long time. So after a while, they start leaking. Oh no, they start leaking passing oil if you pack it for a long time. Even when you buy a Tokumbo one, that time it stayed being cheap to Nigeria, so sometimes they fail and start vomiting blue smoke from the exhaust, which is oil-borne. So in that case, the best thing to do, change the valve seal. They are not expensive, they're 10,000 or so. That's the end. Okay, moving on. Now, okay, we'll talk about this one. This is TU5JP for console in manual. You are interested in automatic. Okay, so this one is THP 156. It's more common among the 308 T7 with turbocharged engine. In terms of fuel consumption, it's in the middle between the VTI 120, the 1.6 that is not turbocharged, and then the 2.0. So this one for economy is also good. In terms of cost of maintenance, this one costs more than the other two. Remember, the cheapest or the lowest cost of maintenance is the 2.0, followed by the 1.6 non-turbocharged, that's VTI 120. Then this one costs more in terms of reliable parts, like the high pressure fuel pump. Costs about new one, 200 or something here in Nigeria or thereabout. Um, it costs more to maintain. There are so many things I have to. If I start talking about it, takes too much time. But it doesn't mean they wear out from it because it has turbocharger. These things work harder on the engine, so they wear out faster. The turbocharger can last, but eventually it's going to wear out. And turbocharger is not that cheap, 300 and something or more. New one, original one. Used ones by 100 and something or thereabout. So then we have some electro valve that the turbocharger works with. One on the intake manifold, one on the turbocharger itself. You know, the thing is, the cost of maintenance is higher, but it doesn't mean they fail that often. Then one of the weaknesses is also that valve stem cells. They don't like to be packed for that long. It uses timing chains, so once the same thing, if it has any issue, change the cells, valve stem cells, and the oil smoke. Well, if you see any of this T7 with any of this engine, this particular engine or the non-turbocharged timing chain engine, and is bringing out blue smoke, don't worry so much about it. It's most likely 98 or 95% of the time usually the same oil cell, the valve cells or valve stem cells. So if you change them, the oil burn goes away, so it's not a big deal. Now in terms of transmission, this one comes with 6-speed automatic transmission, and in terms of performance, smoother drive, in terms of shifting, this one performs better. The transmission is much better. In terms of cost of servicing the gearbox, automatic transmission in this three engine, this one is cheaper. You know, it's more available. In terms of will I use the word durability, automatic transmission, or will I use the one, I don't know, in terms of, okay, call it durability or okay, trouble free. Let me use that one. When it comes to which among these engines that have automatic transmission that is the most trouble free, I won't have, we hardly have any problem, is this one, the 6 speed automatic transmission, which is 86. So yeah, that's about it. Only that on the engine side, it's more powerful and it has more electronic gadget that works with the engine to or boost the power of the engine. So when those things wears out, you spend more. Um, Other than that, nothing more. So um, now in terms of all these engines I mentioned, in terms of which is the cheapest to maintain, even the ones I didn't mention, the cheapest to maintain is this one, TU5. It's the cheapest. But then like I say, it comes all mostly, if not only, with manual transmission. So you find it mostly in 307. It's more common there. So that's about it. There's no serious peculiar electrical issue that 308 T7 is known for. Few occasions reported of came across few ones that have like open circuit around the connection to the fuse box, the BSM in the engine bay. Other than that, I mean, that's not, like I said, the electricals are, as long as they are not abused, they will serve you. Don't give you any problem. Same thing with these engines, use the recommended oil, do preventative maintenance, you enjoy them. Um, like this one, in terms of all the ones with automatic transmission, this is the cheapest. Use the recommended oil. But then one issue is this one is to get it. It's not probably may not be able to find it in Nigeria unless you import it. But don't worry about the parts. The parts are available. Like I said, this engine, there are other Peugeot cars that use it. So it's not like you won't be able to get the parts if if you end up buying one. The parts are there. So that shouldn't worry you. All you need is buy one. If you really care, if you are more interested in the cheapest to maintain, then this one will serve you better on that. But then, in terms of the lowest or the one that consume the least, this one, and consider maintenance cost is in the middle, while this particular one to charge one cost more to maintain, but has more power and more fun to drive. The fuel consumption is not bad. It's also close to the one that consume the least. So only that, the power comes at a cost. So that's the thing. Suspension, okay. 308 suspension, T7 is really okay. No problem with them. The maintenance cost of the transmission of this one, VTR 120, and this one, they are quite, they are not cheap. The recommended ATF cost about 7,000 naira a liter or so. So in terms of cost of servicing automatic gearbox in T7308, the one of 6-speed automatic, which is the one on the turbocharged engine, is the cheapest. The recommended ATF is cheaper, and the gearbox lasts much longer. In terms of issue, I hardly give issues. I hardly come across one with issues. I've never come across one with issues. Let me put it that way. Unlike the other ones that wants to, use the wrong ATF, or when you don't change them on time, they start failing. Okay. So I hope this helps. If there's anything you want to talk about, the 307 is very good. 308, I mean, good. It's spacious inside. I mean, you need to test drive one to see if you're okay, if it feels good to you. They're okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a good car, but at least now you have idea the the do's and don'ts, or some of the weaknesses, how you can prevent them, you know, and stuff like that. So if there's any more questions, just throw and see. I hope this helps.